Hi, this is Fred Morris at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. I'm at the IBM stand this morning with George Bailey, the General Manager of the IBM's Electronics Division. George, good morning.
Hi Fred, good to see you.
Good seeing you. George, what's IBM doing here? IBM is not really considered a traditional telecom, let alone mobile producer, supplier.
Yeah, you're right, Fred. We don't make phones. We don't run cables. So you might wonder, why are we here? Well, I can tell you that we actually are big players in this industry, but we're the next layer back. The software that we make powers a whole lot of the devices you'll see here at the show. The hardware, our chipsets, are everywhere. So we are big players here. Services, hardware, software. We're behind the scenes at almost every major telco and every major network equipment provider here.
Really? Well, tell me, this year, in the last couple of years, convergence, technological convergence, has been the big thing. This has been forcing the consolidation of many of the companies in the industry. Exactly what does this mean from IBM's point of view?
Yeah, you're right. I call it the two C's. It's convergence and it's consolidation. Convergence because, as everybody knows, the lines are blurring between network equipment provider, telco, consumer electronics maker. In fact, it's becoming very, very similar. You know, who would have predicted a couple years ago that Google would come out with a phone and actually be providing mobile service to people? Kind of surprising, right? Well, we think this convergence trend is going to continue, that content provider, telco, network equipment provider, the people that make the hardware, it's all going to come together in a whole new industry ecosystem, and it's going to drive consolidation. Only the strong will survive. You'll see a lot of companies just plain disappear, and you'll see others become more and more successful. And these trends are happening already. Look at the acquisitions, look at the mergers, Alcatel and Lucent, Nokia and Siemens Networks. It's everywhere, and it's going to continue.
Well, it's a very complex landscape, very complex ecosystem. What does it take to be successful in this?
You know, the stakes are high. To be successful, you've got to do some things extremely well. Number one, you've got to innovate. You've got to have new products and services that meet true market demand. And here's the secret. To do innovation in today's world, you can't go alone. You have to decide you're going to partner with somebody. So, for example, many of the companies here partner with IBM. We provide the technology, the support, the services, and together we can help these companies innovate and be successful, because quite honestly, the capital required to go to the next generation of device, the capital required to go to the next generation of technology is something that most companies can't afford on their own. And by the way, most companies don't have all the best ideas in the world, right? You've got to share ideas, and by sharing, by collaborating, you become more competitive.
George, thank you. That's really interesting. We're here outside of IBM's stand with Christian Sider, managing consultant from IBM's consulting arm, who's worked with George Bailey on a study of network equipment providers. Good morning, Christian. Christian, as you know, I was just speaking with George Bailey about convergence and consolidation in the industry. I understand you've done a big study about network equipment providers. Would you like to tell us a bit about that?
Sure, would be very happy to do so, Fred. Thanks for having us today. We just landed this breakthrough study. We released it last year, November. We talked to the leading companies around the world. We talked to all the big players in the industry, from the network equipment providers. And what I think we've found very exciting findings there, and that we have summarized in our latest study called "And Then There Were Few." And I think it's really defining how the industry will look like in the future, in the midterm and also in a long-term perspective.
Well, it's going to be a challenging number of years for the industry, it seems, according to your study. Thank you so much for explaining it to us. Have a good day.